Hello, I'm Kevin Koresky with TriTip TV. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Boise 70.3, the Eagleman 70.3, Hy-Vee, and a little race out in Basque over in Europe. Let's start off with the Eagleman 70.3. This race is pretty loaded up with some great talent. I'm going to go over some of the most popular guys that you read about in the magazines and online news sites for triathlon. We have Terenzo Bozzone, James Carter, Richie Cunningham, Phil Graves, Timothy Marr, Alex McDonald, and Andrew Yoder. Those are probably going to top out your top main guys. You can expect big things out of Terenzo. He's been having a phenomenal season this year. He has won the 70.3 World Championship out in Clearwater, Florida a couple years back. And Richie Cunningham has a very, very, very nice record when it comes to 70.3s. He's pretty much a 70.3 specialist. I would expect to see Richie Cunningham coming in the top three guys. Philip Graves, he won Ironman UK back in 2009, and a lot of people fell in love with his cycling skills. But truth be told, this young guy is actually a swimmer before he was a cyclist, which means he's a double threat when it comes to the swimming and cycling, and he can lay it down in a run. He had a great race out in Wildflower a few months back. Andrew Yoder is stepping up to the 70.3s this year. He took a first bite over at California 70.3 at the end of March and didn't do so well. But with his biking skills and his triathlon talent, I would expect him to learn a little bit more out of this race, racing with these guys, going up against Cunningham, Graves, and Bozzone. He's going to get a good education. He's going to keep learning. You can probably see him in the next year or two really develop into a phenomenal 70.3 racing phenom. On the female side, we got two big name Ironman World Championships coming into this race. McKeely Jones and the highly decorated Natasha Bodman. They're going to be chased down by three other women that would love to have those titles under their name. Samantha Warner, Sam McGlone, and Desiree Ficker. Watch those three ladies in the next coming years in Kona, because I guarantee one of those three are going to be named the female Ironman World Champion. Going over to Boise, we got Ben Hoffman, Tim Burkle, Maddie White, Tyler Butterfield, Matt Lieto, Chris McDonald, Brian Fleischman, Carl Bordine, and I understand that Joe Gambles is having an Achilles issue and he's not going to be racing this race, but he is on the list. Two other guys I didn't mention in that breath were Craig Alexander and Chris Lieto. Last year, this race came down to the wire between these two gentlemen. Came down by 2 seconds. Chris Lieto had the jump on everybody on the bike like he naturally does, and he was putting together a phenomenal run when Craig Alexander creeped up and caught him just a few hundred yards away from the finish line. As he came down the finish chute, it was a sprint finish, and Craig Alexander actually made the pass and won the race by 2 seconds. That doesn't sit well with Chris Lieto. He's a true champion. He is very hungry, and he just threw down a really nice win over this past weekend. On the female side, we got Kate Pilardi, Kate Major, Heather Jackson, Lindsay Corbin, and first-year professional triathlete Mackenzie Madison. These are probably going to be your top 5 to 6 girls. Oh yeah, and we have Julie Dibbins, who did not have a great race last weekend in Quasi Rev 3 race, but I would expect that to change this week. Julie is a phenomenal champion. She has the heart of a lion, and she's very ferocious when it comes to the 70.3 series. She's somebody to watch throughout the whole 2010 season. Guarantee she's going to make a big splash in Kona. Who knows? You might see her take the podium spot away from Chrissy this year. That's right. I said take away the podium spot from Chrissy. I don't think a lot of people believe in that, but this girl has all three talents to do just that. Over in the ITU world, we have Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee holds the highest prize purse of just about any one of these triathlons around the world right now. Last year, it proved to be a very exciting weekend. They unveiled a format that has not been seen or done since, where they did a team relay. And from what I saw online and all the reports I'm getting, they're not going to repeat it this year. Some of the big names to expect at this race are going to be Mary Beth Ellis, Laura Bennett, Sarah Groff, Sarah Haskins, Andrea Hewitt, Daniela Riff, Jenna Schumacher, Emma Moffitt, Haley Pearsall, and Emma Snowsill, Jody Stimson, and Debbie Tanner. These girls you find all over the ITU racing. Dextro Series, these are your breadwinners. It's going to come down to a good solid pack of really, really talented female athletes. It's going to be amazing to watch. On the men's side, the list is just as big. It's hard to call on who could pull this off. You got Bevan Doherty, who came in and took the world by storm earlier this season. You got the ferocious Greg Bennett coming in. You got Matt Reed coming over to race this race. You got the Olympian and Jan Frodano, Chris Foster, Chris Gemmel. The list just goes on and on and on and on and on. Very exciting, a lot of big names and a lot of big money in this race. It's a big payday for anybody who takes first place. Over in Basque, the Tri Grand Prix Series, we got Torsten Abel, Paul Ambrose, Cam Brown, Miranda Carfree, Joanna Lawn, Leanna Cave, Martina Dugana, Joanna Lawn, the Llanos brothers, Hector Ananeko, and Catriona Morrison are probably the biggest names racing this race. That is another great series over in Europe. This is their second race, and the first one did not disappoint, and I suspect that this won't either. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Xterra, Xtenex, Speedfill, and SLS3 for sponsoring us. Have a safe race, have a great weekend, and remember to always think of volunteer. I'm Kevin Koresky for TriTip TV. Thank you.